getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on. So Nurov in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front, they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani, not very far apart at all here. But I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the loud pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order. But Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down in towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's come back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot of fun. Yeah, it's all about the entertainment. So I hope everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. The Burger King machines off into the grass a little bit there as they're really bunching up now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Tuesday nights for the UK SimRacers MX5 Season 4, it is. of 2024. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by Mr. Tom Cairns. It's round 2 of the autumn season, so effectively I suppose you could call it season 3 due to the fact that obviously it's the third one in the tri-season, and it's going to be from Donington National. Yes, we're not going to have the little full Grand Prix circuit where we go down to the Melbourne hairpin, and we're not going to take the fog at the S's, the left, right. We're going to go right, left, round Robertson, down the Wheatcroft Straight, and then into Redgate. Let's keep you up to date with the scores in the pro standings. At the moment, it is PVG out in front at 168 points. Pete Newman in second, tied with Ollie Ricks. Ollie Ricks, you say? Yes, Ollie Ricks, after much discussion throughout of last week, Ollie Ricks has been promoted to the pros. So he will be in the pros going forward. Jamie Ayres in fourth, then Ralph Cullen and Jamie Wilson, Steve Peffer, Tom Griffiths, Dan Hunt, Martin Sampson, Dries Neese and Carl Hardy have yet to score points on the board. In the AMS, it's opened up the AMS. There's no runaway winner with Ollie Ricks at the front. It's Colin Sanson in first and Charles Kellerman in second. Then you've got Fiona Siddons and Andy Littler, then Darren McLean and Craig Jones, Alan Toon, Mick Barry, Arnold Chonier, Callum McPherson, Darrell Wright, Steve Hansford and Roger Morton have yet to score points on that one. What has it done to the overalls? Well, Dan Hunt still out in front on 3.254 with Jamie Ayres in second, Jamie Wilson in third, and Pete Newman and PVG round out the top 5. Ralph Cullenham 6th, Steve Pefford 7th, Colin Sanson is leading the AMS in 8th, and Charles Kellerman, Tom Griffiths, Fiona Siddons, Darrell Wright, Ollie Ricks, Andy Littler, Darren McLean, Martin Sampson, Alan Toon and Steve Hansford round out the top 18. Then you've got Roger Morton, Miles Owens, Mick Barry, John Sylvester and Ewan Bramer. And then below them, when it decides that it wants to work properly, you've got Colin McPherson, Craig Jones, Arnold Chonier, Dan Dennison, Dan Lewis, Dries Neese and Carl Hardy. That is all of the drivers that have taken part this season. Let's bring Mr. Tom Cairns into the booth and hopefully, touch wood, his mic will work without any issues as Darrell Wright joins us in the YouTube chat. Evening, I'm not there this season. Oh, dude. I'll take you out of standings then, Darrell. But Tom, welcome into the booth. How are you, sir?
Hello, James. Hello to everyone. Good to be at Donington, a brilliant racetrack itself, which is steeped in history, home of the British touring cars, British superbikes. I think if you are looking for a weekend away with the family, Donington is like no other, isn't it?
It definitely is. It's going to be a very interesting race, I think. The fact that we're not turning left through the fog at the S's, but we're actually turning right through Roberts, is going to be a very interesting one as well. Always very tight here. This is the second of 7 legs of the UK. We started the season last week at Snetterton. We're now here at Donington National. Then we go to Brands Hatch GP. On the 1st of October, we then venture to Cadwell Park, Silverstone Legacy South, Alton Park and Brands Hatch rounds out the 7 legs of the UK. Then we head off to America for Road America when we go to VIR and then Barber Motorsports, New Hampshire Road Circuit and Silverstone GP New Circuit, but that is up for debate currently at this moment in time. Gary Walsh, I hope you are well, dear sir. Thank you so much for joining us once more. We have entered into qualifying, of course, the 15 minutes of quali here. Tom, what are we going to be looking out for here at Donington? What do we think the action's going to take place from?
Well, you're probably looking at Redgate corner, the right-hander, first corner of this Donington racetrack. I think then it's going to come down to Starkey Straight, where we're going to see Molly over something. Now, the chicanes can catch drivers out, and I think we could well see some side-by-side action through the crane curves. It depends on how brave the drivers are feeling, and it depends maybe on how the qualifying goes. We need to see who's quick and who's not, but I think in UK SimRacers it doesn't really matter too much where you end up on the grid, because a lot can change over the course of a 15-minute race, so that everyone knows. There are 4 races. Each are 15 minutes long. Race 1 is determined by the qualifying results to determine the grid, and then obviously we have a 50-minute race of race 1. The top 10 are reversed for race 2. Same procedure of a 15-minute race, and then we have a break, and then once we return, it's a randomised grid for race number 3 before we wrap up with a final race, which will be a reverse grid, but nothing has been specified which order that would be.
Yeah, we won't know race 4 until we change over sessions a little bit later on, but until then we've got 45 minutes to get there, of course, with a 5-minute warm-up, so it's going to be round about the top of the hour that we will end up going over to race the next session there. Darryl, why are you not taking part? I was looking forward to Mrs. Wright giving you a slap with the slipper this season, and unfortunately we're not gonna see that. And Gary, when are we gonna see you back on track, if at all, dear sir? Let us know. And hopefully you are keeping well on that one. We've got a lot more racing coming up on JPB this week. We've got BSC later on from Bristol Motor Speedway. If you have not seen Bristol or been to Bristol, well, you might want to come along, because that's very interesting. I drove Bristol earlier on. It did not go well. It's a very slippery circuit indeed. We've got round 8 of the J2K, the J2ICS Championship. That's the Endurance Championship from Sebring. Then we've got the Radical Race Series from Alton Park without any chicanes. Beginning of the TSRC Round 1 GT4s from Oschersleben. Triple Bypass will be this week, and on Sunday we've got 5 broadcasts. Starting off with the Australian Premier in Endurance League, we'll go off at a GT3s from Oschersleben. Then we've got the OGRL from VIR. TSRC's Sports Car Championship kicks off on Sunday. Then we've got the Tanzo GR86 and then the IGP Super Formula Lights. And then we're rounding off with the Super Formula Big Brother, which is round 3 at Misano with the SR4S series there. So lots of racing coming up. We've got Tom Griffiths sitting on pole position at this moment in time. We've got Steve Hefford off the side of the circuit on the left-hand side there as a run-up into Coppice. Lisa Wright, I'll still slap him for you. Oh, thank you, Lisa. Much appreciated. Doing TCRs this season, and I'm crap at front-wheel drive, so doing a bit more. Okay, well, fair enough. That's fine then as well. Tom Griffiths looking strong this week. Donington, well, saying that, as I say that, he just goes and pirouettes it, Tom. That couldn't have been any more unfortunate, could it, really?
No, Griffiths just taking a little bit too much curb on the entry to the pit straight, so he gets over the line, and that will be the beginning of the next lap ruins as well, so we'll have to just trail his way around and go again. Pete Newman fastest so far on a 1:16. I think that's the fastest time we've seen throughout the evening so far, actually, because they were setting 1:17s in practice before qualifying got underway, and Pete Newman fastest in that practice session, fastest so far in qualifying. Darren McLean fastest out of all those in AMS, although some drivers have yet to get times on the board. You can see the time and total is increased, and we should have Andy Little, Jamie Ayres, Colin Sanson, Craig Jones and Mick Barry soon to be getting times on the board in the near future.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Craig after the race last week. He blamed the car. Personally, I think it's a skill issue, you know what I mean? I've got to be honest with Mr. Craig Jones. He's full of excuses. In fact, he's got his own filing cabinet full of excuses, has Craig. So, you know, we'll let him get on and see how he gets on here as well. Hopefully in 2 weeks' time, if the new job goes to plan, I'll be back home. That's, of course, if I can sign up. Of course you can, Gary. If they won't let you, come and see me, mate. I'll sort it for you. Possibly. Oh, that one there as well. So, Gary, it'd be good to see you on track, buddy. I haven't seen you on track for absolutely ages. Looks like that's Pete Newman on the outside. Is Craig going to get a time on the board this time around? I can safely say he's got 4 off tracks already. We've got Mick Barry in the pits. I'm hoping that's due to the fact that he's seeing that he's got wet tyres on here. And this is Mick Barry. What did he do? This is on the run down to the old hairpin, the right-hander. If he is sitting on wets, I can guarantee there is no grip there, Mick, whatsoever. So I'm hoping you have noticed that you are flagging up as being on wet tyres. Jamie is doing a great job there as well. Ollie's looking good in his new paint scheme. He is in the results clothing there for Ollie Ricks, being that he's sitting in 6th place. Of course, famously donning the Big Dreams Little Voices logo on the front. There will be an event coming up in November, as me and Craig have been speaking about Big Dreams Little Voices. If you haven't seen any of them, search Big Dreams Little Voices on YouTube and they will come up, where we do have kids alongside myself and Craig in the booth, where we raise money for the Rainbow Trust. We raised just over, I think it was just nearly £6,000 last year, so, and this will be the first one of the year. Anybody that knows obviously knows the situation around Craig and Christmas and everything else, so we're waiting for, you know, fully healthy Craig Jones before we can kick in with a good Big Dreams Little Voices. But it should, touch wood, be coming in November, so we'll be looking at sorting that one out there as well. As for a date, Darryl, right, you might have just caught me out there, because I'm not entirely sure if I put one in my calendar. Where would it be? On a Saturday, I'm thinking it's going on. Is it on a Saturday? Where did I just put that, Darryl? That's confusing me now. We had arranged a date for the middle of November, but I can't actually find it on my calendar. I think it's round about the 16th, if I'm not mistaken. So you might want to pencil it in, Darryl, but it's round about the 16th, I think, on this one here as well. Getting back into qualifying, Ralph Cullinan's got some greens on the board, the Irishman there as well. So great job from him, picking up a second, 2 second places last week in race 2 and race 3. Will we see Ralph Cullinan, Tom, lead and win the overall?
Well, we'll wait and see. He picks up one pro win in the summer campaign, if you remember, at Spa. He was able to get a podium overall in Snetterton in race 2. You can remember that as well. It'll be interesting to see if he can actually just get stuck in a little. I think now, he's obviously aware that Ollie Ricks is on the grid now, so I just wonder maybe that might wake Ralph Cullinan up a little bit, because we saw at times where Ollie Ricks was outperforming him, even whilst Ricks was in the AM class. So I think Cullinan's going to have a lot of pressure on his shoulders to actually keep up with the likes of Neiman Griffiths and Hunt in that.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. I think it's really hard with Ralph, because 1 minute he's on it, then he's off it, and then he's on it, and then he's off it again. And I've seen this man for the last 2.5 years, I think we've been at this now, for the UkSimracers, and literally it's been on and off and on and off and on and off and on and off. So we'll have to see what sort of Ralph Cullinan turns up, I think. In conjunction with that, Darryl, as well, we have noticed it is the Fuji 8 hours, so there was also the 9th was a option for it as well. I will confirm with Craig when I get the full goings ahead of what date we're looking at and start getting it advertised and booked in. So the 9th was also mentioned, which is the weekend before the Fuji 8 hours. So there you go. It depends on how much Ralph has drunk. I do agree with you. He is an Irishman. He is fueled on the black stuff, is Ralph Cullinan. Maybe even that, or he's got the old whiskey dram sat next to him. So we'll have to see from Ralph on that one. We're at a stage of qualifying, Tom, where it kind of peters out a little bit, and literally everybody kind of is trying to find them tenths, them thousandths that they couldn't find at the beginning of the session.
Well, given that they've run through the best life of their tyres already, they're thinking about what the race is going to produce later. And I imagine that some will have, perhaps puts a certain amount of fuel in there just to see how they handle through each of the corners, just to prepare them all for the first race, and we'll know what happens in race 1 once they get going from lights out. But no one's improving on their lap times at the moment. We're looking at what looks like the number 7.
Dan Hunt.
Dan Hunt. It's Dan Hunt, isn't it? So he's going over the line to complete a lap. I think around this Donington circuit, where you can get loads of laps in, it's good practice for the race later. If you can just try and practice your braking and your turning in points, especially under race fuel levels. Bearing in mind, the races are only 15 minutes long.
Absolutely, and I think at the end of the day, it will be kind of a rush to the front. What they have got to be careful of is down through Hollywood and Crane Curves, which is at the top part of where the number 13 is, which is Fiona Siddon's just gone red, down through the old hairpin and up on the run through Starkeys. It's all about the exit of the old hairpin. You cannot be spitting up grass like that, because it will be an issue. And Anthony Jacobson as well, welcome in, dear sir. As Darryl says, a long time no see. It's great to see some old guys here I haven't seen for absolutely ages, and Gary Walsh being one of them, and Anthony Jacobson being another. And of course, we've got to welcome in Mrs. Wright, in Lisa Wright there, who comes in and gives Darryl a slap for us when he's being naughty on the race circuit, so that's always good to see. 2.5, well, just under 3 minutes to go, and again they're just scraping around for them temps, them thousandths. Let's take you on a bit of a tour of Donington National Circuit. Through Roberts we go. This is on board with Ollie Ricks down in the bottom right hand corner. You can see sitting in second at the moment, just gone up into third, topping north of 100 miles an hour. Into fourth we go. Newman's got a purple in the middle, but he's surrounded by 2 yellows. Down to the right hander there. I would have thought that would have been a third gear corner, but I'm no driver. But Ollie goes down through second. Now down into Hollywood we go, and we plunge down through the Crane Curves. We take the right, then we take the left. There's going to be a slight dab on the brakes just about now, getting it hooked up into third. Over the inside line we can go. Just got to be careful, because too much of it and you will get a slowdown. Up through Starkey's Bridge, now through the left hander, keeping it pinned to the left hand side, pulling it in as well. Normal racing line's a little bit wider than that, but Darryl took it left all the way, missed the apex A. See how much steering he had to put into it. Up through McLean's, coming up the hill, blind apex into Coppers, cannot see. You point at the tree on the left hand side, and now we start the run down Starkey straight. This is again going to be the main opportunity for some of these guys to get overtakes done. Ollie giving the steering wheel a little bit of a jiggle wiggle there, as he knows he's on the broadcast. Yes, Ollie, you are famous, giving us a lap tour through the Roberts chicane, now right, then left, and then again we'll start off running around Donington. Well, we won't, because he goes into the pits, but you get the idea here as well. Very fast, very flowing, very kind of, you've got to be on this circuit. You cannot rest because it comes so thick and fast at you, Tom.
Yeah, well, just noticed that Ollie Ricks has changed his livery as well. I wonder if that's
due to his promotion.
Well, I wasn't going to say that, but it was more the fact that Craig Jones's livery last week was similar to what Ollie Ricks had. So maybe whether Ollie Ricks has taken a little bit of a different route with his livery from here on in.
Well, he's, as I said, he's gone over because he's been promoted to a pro, so he's been teamed up with Results Clothing, where Darryl's not been racing. Darryl's been dropped from the team. No offence, Darryl, that's basically what is happening. And Ollie's taking his place in that car. So Alan Toon and Andy Littler will stay in work guard with Fiona Siddons, and at the moment Craig doesn't have a teammate for the Safeguard by Result team, because Mick Barry is also in. Is he changed over or not? No, Mick Barry is also in the Results Clothing team as well. So that is what has taken that is what's taken place within the Result team. Does Craig have a teammate, Darryl, or have I missed that, or has Mick Barry gone over to Safeguard with Craig? Whoa, not dropped. I gave. I'm not really sure what the difference is, to be honest with you, Darryl, on that one. You know, that's like saying Checo Perez has not been dropped from Red Bull. We gave up the seat for Oscar Piastri or something. I don't know. On that one, Pete Newman is in first, with Tom Griffiths in second, Dan Hunt third. Then you got Jamie Wilson, Ralph Cullen, and PVG, Jamie Ayres and Ollie Ricks, and Darren McLean, Steve Heffer, Colin Sanson, and Charles Kellerman. And then Fiona Siddons, Craig Jones, Andy Littler, Sir Alan Toon, and Mick Barry. Read it rather quickly because they've all jumped onto the grid at an absolute rapid rate of knots here. And as anybody knows within iRacing, as soon as they get on the grid, the countdown starts. So we will keep an eye on that one. I do miss the endurance race. Yeah, I know, Anthony. Come on, you need to get yourself back. Hope everything's been all right, though, sir. We haven't seen you for a while. Hope everything has been okay. But ladies and gentlemen, the lights are coming on. We've got 4 lights, 5 lights. Round 2, heat 1, green, green, green. Pete Newman gets the car off the line. He doesn't get an ideal start, though. Tom Griffiths gets an absolute flyer on the right-hand side. Is he going to dive round the right-hander, round the outside of Redgate? He's going to give himself a great opportunity here, Tom Griffiths. Is he going to be able to get that car car alongside Pete Newman. Through Hollywood we go, then plunging down the hill into Craner Curves, the right, then the left. Dan Hunt looking up the inside, going through the left-hand as well. Dan's got to tighten up the old hairpin. That's going to be very difficult for him there. Tom should be able to get a run up under Starkey's bridge. That's the problem with being on the inside. You cannot tighten it up. You lose so much time here. Now Tom Griffiths is going to be on the inside for the first time around McLean's, and it is a Pete Newman whole shot with Tom Griffiths. Dan Hunt, PVG has been off the side of the circuit. You can see it about Ollie Ricks and Jamie Ayres side by side. Everybody gets away cleanly here, Tom, apart from PVG taking a trip through the grass.
Yeah, so PVG down the order, the awesome championship leader coming into this round, having his own melodies as we speak. And we've seen Ollie Ricks coming through ahead of Jamie Ayres, getting stuck in straight away as Ollie Ricks in his first proper round as a pro driver. I think his results being given as a pro driver last week. He racing as an amp, and he's now losing it. He's almost taking Jamie Ayres with him, and Ricks had to get off the throttle on the pit straight.
He is there. Mick Barry still at the back of the clue. I don't know if Darryl, if you want to jump in to the results team and tell Mick he is on wet tyres. He is showing as being on wet tyres. So for Mick Barry, he needs to really get that sorted out, because otherwise he is not going to go anywhere very fast here. There is on board with Tom Griffiths. You can see Pete Newman. We're going to look up through the old hairpin on the run up through Starkey's under the bridge. We go left-hander. Pete opens it up a little bit. Tom taking that tighter line. Is he going to try and get his nose up there? He's not. Newman chops him off through the right-hander of McLean's we go. Coming in now once more here for the UK SimRacers round 2, heat 1 through Coppice, a blind hairpin, literally cannot see anything. Newman missed the apex by an absolute mile. This is going to be the moment for Tom Griffiths. Is he going to be able to get through on the left-hand side? Is Pete Newman in that Pure Sims 118? Griffiths is on the right-hand side of the race circuit, coming down into Roberts chicane we go now, hard on the brakes. Is he going to take that inside line? He's not, but he's got to tighten it up again, Tom, and it seems to be that if you tighten up a corner, it always ends up losing your speed.
Yeah, absolutely. And Griffiths knows it, and now he's under attack from Dan Hunt on the approach to Redgate this time. Hunt looking to the outside of Griffiths, going into the right-hander here as he done enough on the exit to give himself the high ground all the way through Hollywood and the Craner Curves. We'll find out in a moment. Ralph Cullingham getting stuck in as well. He's having a fine race so far, and he's going through on Tom Griffiths at the Craner Curves. Good move there for Cullingham, but Griffiths will always be later on the brakes. Cullingham's weakness has been not brave enough on the brakes compared to other drivers, and that's the reason why Griffiths has got back through.
Yeah, absolutely. Mick Barry's been off at the side of the circuit. Jamie Ayres and Ollie Ricks, we saw that as they went side by side. Mick's off again. It's no surprise for poor old Mick. He's on rain tyres. Colin Sanson's mixing it in with the free Momo boys, of course, at their first 1-2-3 last week in race 4 at Snetterton for the Momo, and I think that's the third time in a very, very long time. I cannot remember actually when they last got a 1-2-3, and Pete Newman still leads us away here. 11 minutes to go on the clock. Colin Sanson leading the AMs, but he is in with Steve Everett and he is in with PVG, and then next is Charles Kellerman, who sat just behind him here. Colin's going to go, and he's pulled out over Jamie Ayres. Ayres on the left in the red and black, a traditional. Colin Sanson in the year 1 on the right hand side. Is he going to be able to do this now? He's not, but he is going to open up the door for PVG to try and have a go. Door banging their way through the left-hander. Through Hollywood we go, through Craner Curves. Sanson's going to have the inside. He's going to have the racing line here, Tom. Can he hold on, though, because PVG's looking strong?
Yeah, well, PVG having the inside line, and Sanson doesn't fight it too much because they're not in the same class as each other, and PVG makes light work of him, and he can set about going after Jamie as his Momo teammate.
Yeah, he's going to be now PVG moving up. Steve Hefford in there as well. Darrell McLean, Fiona Siddons side by side on the run out of McLean's up into Coppice now. The right-hander blind apex top of the hill. Craig Jones there chasing down Andy Littler. We've got Sir Alan Toon tucked in behind. Ollie Ricks has been off, and he went off, did Ollie Ricks, and unfortunately he's dropped all all the way down the order. Was this that little bit of a ding-dong with Jamie Ayres again, as both men have taken ventures off the side of the circuit? He's got the inside line. They're door banging. He's going to bring him round his nose. He's going to bring him round his nose. And unfortunately for Ollie Ricks, that is what happened when you come across somebody there as well. Colin Sanson's off the side of the circuit. Mick Barry again. Craig Jones under attack for Sir Alan Toon. Ollie Ricks trying to come through and battle his way back. Top 10 reverse, currently held by Colin Sanson. Been off the circuit. He has let Charles Kellerman go through. Kellerman now gone leading the AMS, but Newman here leading this freeway with Dan Hunt and Tom Griffiths. Fast, furious action here, Tom, as it always is at Donington National.
Yeah, absolutely. And Mick Barry is still on full wets. If he does not come in, he's going to cause either a problem or two. I think he needs to get in and just get the tyres changed now. Surely he must see that he's on the wrong tyres.
Well, you would have thought so, wouldn't you, to be blatantly honest with you? But as Darrell Wright said, I could go and tell him, but it's always funny to watch Mick work it out, as he'll realise for race 4, and he'll put dries on for the wet race. So Darrell there showing no love lost. Down on the attack now. Pete Newman's later on the brakes, through the right-hander, through the left-hander of Roberts, on the run down into Redgate. I think that's probably just a mistake on Mick's part here, Tom. He hasn't realised, and because he hasn't realised, he's going around slipping and sliding all over the place. So let's hope he does pay attention. Tom Griffith's going to run around the outside of Redgate. Dan Hunt still on the inside here, still battling away, but it's still led from Pete Newman.
Yeah, well, they're going through turn 1 now. Newman holding the lead ahead of Hunt and Griffiths, who is back in the fight. Kellerman and Sanson continuing to swap places in leadership for AM, and it's beginning to settle down now as we watch Hunt put Newman under pressure. It's some time since we've seen Dan Hunt fighting at the front. Just looking at Dan Hunt's results of last week, and it doesn't spell the sort of volumes as what we've seen from him before, and I wonder if we want to make up for that in the first race of this evening.
Yeah, he'll hopefully be able to battle his way back through for Dan Hunt. I can't actually see him on the podium at all last week, to be blatantly honest with you. And Tom Griffiths is in there, sitting nestled in and nicely tucked up right behind him for Griffiths. Hunt's jinked to the right. Newman's covered him off. Now he's going to go to the left. Is he going to be able to get round there? Newman's going to have the run. Griffiths is going to have the better run because he's gone through Roberts unaided, uninterrupted. I couldn't figure the word I was looking for, but it impeded in there somewhere. I couldn't remember what the actual word was. On the run down into Redgate now. Tom Griffiths down into Redgate, not getting it done this time. Ralph Cullinan, Jamie Wilson, not getting it done this time. Momo, Hefford, PVG, Jamie Ayres, long run from the 1-2-3 they had last week in race 4 at Donny. Colin Sanson up behind Charles Kellerman. That's the battle for the AMS. You can see on the left-hand side, Siddons and McLean, Littler and Jones. Then Hunt, Newman, Griffiths, Wilson, Cullinan, Ayres, Gould, Hefford and Ollie Ricks driving around all on his Todd at the back end here, losing time to Craig Jones, losing time to Andy Littler, and he's got to try and get on it here once more. But Dan Hunt out in front, Pete Newman in second, Tom Griffiths in third. That overtake did get done on the run down into the hairpin. Darrell Wright, I was nice and sent him a message. Okay, Darrell, fair play to you.
At least we know that problem with Mick Barry has been sorted out. Now we're looking at the leader because, as you've mentioned, Dan Hunt has taken over from Pete Newman, but for how long? As they approach Roberts, and it'll be the pit straight coming up. We can see Newman on the inside of College. Only banging wheels to power with him.
Oh, it's crashed. Oh, Dan Hunt manages to hold it. Did Newman? Yes. Both men manages to hold it there, and that was about as close as you could come to having a full slide from Dan Hunt. Watch the DOF reality, left hand MX5. He comes across his nose, he flicks to the left, he flicks to the right, then goes to the left, and almost takes out Tom Griffiths. That would have been a party and a gift and a Christmas gift, Easter birthdays, all rolled in and one for Jamie Wilson and Ralph Cullinan. Tom, that could not have been any closer to a left-hand slide there of Dan Hunt.
Well, that could have ended in tears horribly, but I'm amazed that Pete Newman was able to keep going because it looked like he was going to be spinning round all day long, but Griffiths has taken over, and it won't be too long before Hunt and Newman come back into combat there. I wonder what Pete Newman must be thinking.
on his bike, son. I think for Pete, I think he's going to be looking to get on it and try and get onto the back of them again. Ayres, Van Gogh, Hefford not really changed positions. Oh my dearie me. Kellerman and Sanson are having a right little ding-dong further down there. You can see they've got no windows on these drivers' cars, at all, because if they have an incident, it just goes straight through at the front of them. Obviously, they've got the front windshield. That's about as much covering as they have got here. On to above the windscreen we go with Colin Sanson. Is he going to be able to dive down the inside of Redgate here? Is he going to be brave enough? He's close enough. He's close enough. Through Hollywood now with a right-hander, plunging down into Craner curves. Once more right, then we're going to go left, and then he's going to go in for the old hairpin. Don't take the inside. You're going to... Oh, my gee whiz, Batman. He nearly lost his nose. Absolutely nose-jobbed nearly for Colin Sanson. Unbelievable. Get your surgery booked, son, because if you're going to do that again, Charles Kellerman's going to have him on that one, Tom.
Yeah, that could have... So he's going for it now, though, into McLean's, and there, as you like, from Colin Sanson now. I don't know how on earth he thought about going in from there, but Kellerman just about managed to read it.
Yeah, he did. He come around the outside. Colin Sanson's trying. Look at this. Everybody loves a trier. There's Charles Kay alongside us in that optical green car, as he has been for the 2 years I've been here. On the brakes, over the free we go. Oh my dearie me, Sanson's... Oh, gee. I mean, I think I've just had kittens up here in the booth. As Colin Sanson, I thought he was going for 2 there, Tom, and trying to get Jamie Ayres as well.
Well, that could have ended disastrously, couldn't it? And unbelievably, Colin Sanson was able to make his way through into Roberts. And with 3 minutes still to go, we've got 3 laps, I would say. But it's run wide at Redgate.
Oh, God, he did, yes. Just as I literally come off him, Colin Sanson ran wide out of Redgate. That's allowed Charles Kellerman through once more. Dan Hunt still managing to hold on to the lead. I tell you what, after this one, I mean, I'm going to have kittens galore up here in this booth as Dan Hunt, Pete Newman. Newman's going to go up the inside of McLean's. That door's going to shut, Pete. The door's going to shut. And now it's all out of sorts. Again, tightening up that inside line. Does not work here at Donny because of the fact that you've got to let that car run wide to keep up the momentum.
Well, it's game on for the win here at Donington between these 3. I will probably say it's going to be one of these 3 taking victory because Jamie Wilson is too far back. But we saw what happened involving Hunt and Newman that nearly took each other out at this corner that they're going through.
Course,
2 laps to go, who's taking it?
Pete Newman's got to run alongside here. He's going to be on the outside for Redgate. If I can tell you one thing, if Hunt opens up that steering, Newman's going on the grass. Newman is going on the grass. Hunt's going to give him got the inside. Newman's giving him so much room. Hunt tries to open it up. He almost tries to get too close. Down through Hollywood we go. Right-hander Craner now on to right about now. Newman again on that inside line. If Hunt tightens this up, Griffiths is going to get a run on him. Griffiths is going to get a run. You can see him closing in. He runs a little bit wide. Griffiths has got the run. Is he going to take it 3 wide? Coming up into McLean's. He's not. He's looking for the racing line. It's Tom Griffiths. Hunt is crawling all over the back of Pete Newman. Literally crawling all over the back of him. They're going to be side by side coming up into the right-hander of Compass. Blind apex. Nobody can see anything. Newman gives Hunt an absolute chunk of room. Then down through Starkey's the golden time for the last, what will be the final lap.
Well, Griffiths has got the right-hand side of both of them. Could he be taking 2 in one going to Roberts?
He's got 3 wide. He's got 3 wide. How's this going to work? Griffiths isn't going to work. Newman's going to sweep round the outside. Hunt's gone round. Hunt has gone round. The DOF reality's gone round and he's plunged down the hill. Now it's all about Griffiths and Newman for the final lap of the race. Newman's going to try and have that inside line. He needs the inside for Redgate. Newman does come through. Takes the inside line. 3 wide going into Roberts. Does not work. Griffiths got to slide on, crawling all over the back of Newman as well. This is going, it's like prize fighting here, Tom. We got the old guard of Pete Newman there and the Evander Holyfield, and we got the younger Mike Tyson. Tom Griffiths tucked in right behind him as they go up through the old hairpin for the final time.
Well, it's, play your cards right time now, isn't it? Just knowing where to attack and knowing where to nail it. And, between Newman and Griffiths, you can just see that Wilson and Cullenham are closing in as well. If these two come to blows, then surely it's going to be Jamie Wilson snatching the victory through the unlikeliest of circumstances.
Yeah, Will there as well. Through the right hander we go for the final time down through Starkey's. I think it's going to be a Pete Newman race 1 victory. Is he going to hang on here? Is he not going to hang on? Griffiths is not going to give him the moment's rest though. He's going to go for the run coming out the final chicane. I think it's going to be Pete Newman through the final. Roberts now. Newman's going to take this victory. He is going to take the victory in race 1. He well earned that victory there, and the PVG is going to hold on to the front of the Momo boys. What about Andy Littler and Craig Jones? Is Jones going to go for it into the final corner, sitting 5th in class? He's not, but he is under attack from Ollie Ricks. If he isn't careful, Ricks is going to get him on the line. I think Jones may have... That was very close. Jones does take it there, but them last couple of laps, God blimey, how close were they?
Yeah, that was very close, and perhaps too close if your name is Dan Hunt, who ended up in 8th position while working a podium finish for him, and so he'll be kicking himself after that.
Yeah, but you take it 3 wide into Roberts. I think it's kind of a what do you expect moment as Fiona Siddons comes over the line there. And literally that is the final position finished. Let's bring you up the final results. I'm sweating out in my office already here. Pete Newman is your winner with Tom Griffiths in 2nd. Jamie Wilson takes an surprise 3rd place. Ralph Cullinan in 4th. Then PVG, Steve Pfeffer, Jamie Ayres and Dan Hunt. Then we've got Charles Kellerman winning the AMS. He's in front of Colin Sanson, who's going to be on pole for race number 2. Then we've got Darren McLean, Andy Littler and Craig Jones. Ollie Ricks, Alan Toon, Fiona Siddons and hopefully Mick Barry, who would have changed from wet tyres onto the dries, Tom, is what he needs to do here. And we've got a brief 5-minute warm-up, a brief 5-minute breather, and I think I need it, to be honest.
Yeah, well, he's got to get some timing in, because I don't think we've seen him in I don't think we saw him in practice, did we? Unless I'm mistaken with that. But he was on wet tyres during quali or whatever, and he just forgot to change it back onto slicks. So that'll be for him to sort out. Hopefully he'll be on the dries as soon as he comes out. We can just see that Ollie Ricks and Darren McLean are the first drivers to head out on circuit. What will they be thinking? Ollie Ricks' first proper race, you could say unofficial race. I mean, we have to count his results last week as being a pro, if we are going with that. And it's going to be game on, I think, in the second race. Having said that, we've got 2 AM drivers at the front of the field of, I think it's Colin Sanson and Charles Kellerman, isn't it? And then it's all the pro drivers behind in the top 10. And Dan Hunt, I suppose, in a way, he'll have a chance to pull away from the rest of the pack. But it's a long race. I mean, we've got 12 laps of action, unless it's a wet one.
Yeah, and then we might only have 11 on that one. Great race, Colin. I've got to be honest, Charles, you drove your absolute little optical green socks off in that one. So well done to you there, and congratulations on this. That one is Mick up in. Mick's not in the results room, otherwise I would have pulled him in and said, Mick, you's on wet tyres, dear sir. But he ain't in the room, unfortunately, so hopefully he might correct it. However, he is still on wet tyres again here. I don't know, Charles, if you can pull Mick in or do something with Mick, but he's sitting on wet tyres. There you go. Very interesting race 1. Top 10 reverse. Kellerman Sanson on pole on the front row. What's going to be going through their AM heads here? Because they're going to have a fast charging load of people behind them.
Yeah, well, the AM drivers are sitting in behind. The pros will just be praying that the likes of Sanson and Kellerman will be disposed of very, very quickly. And that way they can get onto the tail. I mean, they'll be in their own battles to begin with anyway. It's not like so many drivers are out of position compared to what we've seen in other reverse grid races.
Are they out of position? Or are they there on merit?
I think if you're talking about the pro drivers, excluding Ollie Ricks, I don't feel like they are out of position as such, because they are going to be in their own battle anyway, because of the close proximity of where they were on the race results, if you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I do.
yeah, and it doesn't take long for the pro drivers to get through the field anyway. And considering around Donington, the national circuit, where we are seeing a 12-lap dry race, there's plenty of time. So there's more than enough time for the pros to make their way through.
Yes, there is. I'm just wondering if the best move for Colin and Charles is to kind of, I'm not going to say not battle, but to try and leave each other alone going to, at least through turn 1, turn 2, down through Craner, because at the end of the day, they don't want to be coming to blows that early, I think. You leave it for a couple of laps. Just my advice personally, but, hey, who am I? I'm not down there in the car, so I'm not obviously the one behind the steering wheel, but I would personally just try and not battle for a couple of laps and let them guys try and break away if you can.
We'll see. We've got less than a minute to go in the warm-up session. And I think Ollie Ricks and Darren McLean have been out on the circuit. Ollie Ricks has got a time on the board. It's very unrepresentative anyway. But he will be aiming for better luck in race 2 than what he had in race 1 following the collision that he had with Jamie Ayres at McLean's.
Absolutely. And obviously we know what happened to Dan Hunt, taking it 3 wide and causing himself all sorts of dramas. So 14 seconds to go. We will bring you up the grid. It will be read very, very quickly. These guys are going to get onto the grid at an absolute rapid rate of knots. So I will kind of speed read through the grid. So apologies if you hear thinking that you want a good rundown of who finished where. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out in this series because these guys do jump on to the grid at a rather rapid pace. So especially for race 2, we will have a break there. I'm not quite sure why PVG's bumper was bouncing up and down in the air at that point. So if you are looking at that, I'm pretty sure you saw the same thing I did on that one. Colin Sanson, Charles Kellerman, 1 and 2. Then Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres, Steve Hefford, PVG, Ralph Cullen and Jamie Wilson, Tom Griffiths, Pete Newman at the back, Darren McLean, Andy Littler, 11th and 12th, Craig Jones, Ollie Ricks, Alan Toome, Fiona Siddons and Mick Barry. That is your grid here as well. Everybody's nearly on the grid ready to go. There's just 3 more people. 4, I don't know if Mick's going to actually take part on this one. Is he going to join in at the back? We are just waiting for Mick there. I'm hoping he's realised he's on wet tyres. He's not going to take part in race number 2. Oh, Colin Santos jumped the start. Sanson's jumped the start. That's going to open the door up to Charles Kellerman. All of Colin's work to take that pole position has just gone out the window. Doors over, 40 seconds, stop and go. Coming for Colin Sanson. He knew it as well, and he's done the job and sprinted off as fast as he can to try and open up that gap. Dan Hunt's jumped Charles Kellerman, so is Jamie Ayres, so is Steve Hefford. PVG just about to do the same thing there as well. Sweeps round him. What about Ralph Cullinan? He's got up the inside of Charles Kay. Jamie Wilson has also got up the inside here. What about Pete Newman? Kellerman's going backwards faster than he's going forwards here, Tom, and I'm wondering if that's by design.
Well, I don't know. I'm just thinking about what Colin Sanson was doing there, because the lights weren't even all on 5, were they? He moved around about 3 lights were on. So the best thing he did there, as you've mentioned, is that he pulled away as soon as he knew he jumped the start, but he's going to be hit with the hefty stop and go. Yeah,
40 seconds it will be. 40 seconds for this man, and I can tell you what happened. If I'm not mistaken, his foot slipped off the clutch and shot the car forward, and at that point Colin thought, well, I might as well just go and get it done. Pit lane's on the left there, sir. You're in there, and I'll see you at 40 seconds when you come out the other side. Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres, Steve Hefford, PVG, Momo 234. Can they get that second 1, 2, 3 of the season? And that will be interesting to find out. Charles Kellerman has got Tom Griffiths. Darren McLean is the one fighting Charles Kay here. So for Kellerman's sort of the situation, he needs to get a little bit of an hurry on, but keeping Tom Griffiths back is going to be very, very, very difficult for him. And he's going to be in the hands of Darren McLean and Craig Jones very, very shortly.
So we're starting to see more of those from the first race fighting the front. Dan Hunt up there in the lead with Jamie Ayres, Steve Hefford and PVG, who I would imagine are going to be working together to make it as difficult as possible for Dan. Ralph Cullen in 5th, had a Jamie Wilson and Pete Newman finding his way through slowly, as is Tom Griffiths. Ollie Brooks has made up some positions so far, but he's not quite in the top 10 just yet.
Yeah, Fiona Simmons takes a little bit of a dive out of the side of the circuit, drops in behind Alan Toon. Ricks is in behind Craig Jones and Darren McLean. Jones fighting out in the AM, sitting second at this moment in time. Got Darren McLean right in front of him. Is he going to be able to get past McLean this time? He's not. He's got to look for a clean run out of that chicane. Craig, you're braking far too late going into Roberts. You've got to brake a little bit earlier. Hence, Ollie Ricks is now going to come and have a go at you here as well. Ricks is going to look for that inside line. You can see on the right-hand side, Kellerman's got to slow down. He is now losing it. You can see here Ricks has gone through. There is Jones. They're going to go a little bit of a door bang in. Nope, Jones manages to hold on. Down through Hollywood we go. He's got to take the front. He's got to take that front away. He did for Jones. Protects his position going into the old hairpin. What's he going to be like coming out the other side? Is he going to be able to get that run? He's not. Ollie Ricks is going to get the run. Ricks is on the grass. Is he going to go sweep to the inside of Jones? He's going to try. Jones has got literally about a second and a half to block that off. Otherwise, Ricks is... Craig dives up the inside of Darren McLean in the process, taps him, and Jones has done his famous Jones pirouette for at least one round this evening and goes off the side of the circuit. Kellerman under attack from Wilson again. I think a lot of this is by design for Charles Kellerman, Tom, because these guys really aren't his fight. He hasn't got the pace to keep up. Does he need to continue to fight, or should he just do what he's doing?
Well, he's going through there on McLean, or fighting it out with... it was Jamie Wilson, wasn't it? He was fighting out there, but he's having to settle behind him now, and we're looking at Cullinan, who is looking to the outside here of Pete Newman, but it's Newman who's got his way through, and it's the Momo drivers he is setting his sights on, Steve Hefford and Jamie Ayres.
Yeah. Newman's trying to make his way into the big boys at the front with Hefford, Ayres, Hunt. PVG has dropped down the order there. It got overtaken, did Pete Van Gogh, and in sixth, exactly where he started. Newman has got the Irishman tucked up right behind him. And then we've got this AM battle. Darren McLean has cleared Charles Kellerman. Ollie Ricks is in there, and Siddons is further back. Jones, of course, now towards the back end of the grid, battling with, well, he's not battling, there is Craig Jones, and Alan Toon's further up the road, but his front fight still continuing on. The heavyweights into Roberts, the right, left, here at Donny, round 2, heat number 2, the OF reality, Momo, Pure Sims results, Cullinan's in the wall. Absolutely come out of that final chicane. The car was not settled for Ralph Cullinan. Over the bump, over the other bump, he hits the curb and around he goes. Watch that, bang! Absolutely bumps off his nose cone, can't even get the car rotated to get it into the pit lane quick enough, and is going to try and back up and drive it down. He does manage to get it down, but no fast repairs, dear sir, and he misses his grid slot as well, just to top it off, and unfortunately he's had to go back into the pit lane there. Ralph Cullinan, big old crash there, Tom. If that was real life, caught blimey, that would have been a whiplash and a half.
Well, we have seen accidents coming out of Roberts all the time we have in British touring cars, but on the other side of not quite the pit wall as such, and Ralph Cullinan was a big whack there for him. He'll have felt that for quite a bit. And now we're looking at Hunt, Ayres and Hefford. How are they thinking about things here, as well as Newman? We've got a fight for the lead now, which is great to see, between 4 drivers, with PVG nearly a couple of seconds adrift.
Yeah, they are. You can see the gap behind them is PVG 1.8. It's got Tom Griffiths closing in. Massive bump from Newman. Look how much curb he's taken. He's going to go for the run. Is Hefford's going to give him the inside line? He's not. Hefford's going to make him go around the outside. PVG, or Jamie Ayres, sorry, tries to give the draft to Steve Hefford. He's not going to make it either. Now Newman's going to sweep round the outside. If Ayres keeps holding on his brakes like that, Newman's going to have it. Hefford's going to run on the inside. If Hefford's going to have the inside for the old hairpin, it's going to be Pete Newman's corner, because I can tell you now, slight little contact there. Newman again unsettling Steve Hefford. Hefford's got to get hard on the brakes. He's all out of whack. Here comes Pete Newman alongside him. Hefford trying to cover him off, some may say unceremoniously, for Pete Newman, getting covered off by Steve Parfitt there. We're gonna presume that's clean, Tom, but it was very, very late.
Yeah, and Newman had to just back out of it for a moment and just go again. But, he's thinking, Roberts is the best location to get the overtakes done at, and you can just see as missing the apex of Coppice, and now that's put him under attack from Hefford and Newman as they head towards the lap now, and Hunt is in command of this one and looking good for victory this time.
Yeah, 7 minutes on the clock though. Nothing say nothing and never going to say never. And as you can see there, Newman's going to go up the inside of Pete Newman. Newman's going to go around the outside of Steve Hefford. Hefford's going to be stuck on that inside line. Newman's going to run him around the outside of Redgate. He gives so much room. Pete, you're so respectful on your driving. Most people would have squeezed Hefford like an absolute orange in a juicer there to make him think twice about trying to push you out wide through Redgate. Newman's going to have the inside for the exit of Craner. If Hefford's going to try and go out the inside, you're going to be all off the line. You're going to have to tighten it up. Yep, you're going to struggle. Newman's gone. Cannot tighten up the old hairpin. You literally lose so much speed, Tom, and I would have thought these guys would have kind of learned that after race one.
You'd have thought so, but Newman just able to find drive out of the old hairpin and slot his way through ahead of Hefford. But now they've got a bit of a gap between the top two and those who are coming through. And Tom Griffiths is slowly but surely coming into the fight now. You can just see in that blue livery machine. What will he be thinking?
I can tell you one thing though, you are right, there is a gap opening up. However, the draft is so strong in these little MX5s. Watch that gap come down. It's already started. It come down from 1.2 at one point on the run down Starkey's at the back of the back straight there. It's through Starkey straight. Now it's gone back. Well, it's not. If it's gone out tenths, minuscule amounts here. Now it's going to start coming down. It's come down a tenth. It's going to be draft all the time. For Newman, as soon as he gets into it, it's going to pull him in, and you can see it's come down to barely 1 second now, well below 1 second now. So for Newman, he's got that draft, and I think, to be honest, he'll be right there by the end again.
Yeah, well, they'll be on the tail of Ayres and Hunt in no time at all. We've got 5 minutes to go left in race number 2 here at Donington Park. Dan Hunt, the race leader in that red and white liveried machine, ahead of Jamie Ayres in the all-red liveried machine, and then we've got the white and blue of Pete Newman. Now there are in different teams these lot. The Dan Hunt is part of the Duff Reality SimRacers studio team. Jamie Ayres is in a Momo, and Pete Newman is in a pure Sims team. Now they're all in Mazda MX5s. They are the same car. It's just different liveries and different teams that the drivers have organised and within the UK SimRacers server.
Yeah, Newman tucked in right behind now. Ayres in there. Hunt in there as well. Round turn 1 we go. You can see Newman's closed up. Everybody else is a little bit more spread out. Colin Sanson's trying to come back through. He's got Andy Littler in the 999 Mazda. Clearly had a little bit of a whack on the front for Andy Littler, as that Mazda looks like it's on a little bit of a skew whiff there. It looks like it's been chucked into Photoshop and been given a left-right arch on it, as it's got a little bit of a hit. But Dan Hunt, Jamie Ayres now with Pete Newman, this time behind him, closing in at a rate of knots. He's pulled 6 tenths out of the last lap, and we're only going to get probably another 3, maybe 4 more laps to go.
Well, they're all heading up the hill now towards Coppice, and you can just see that Hunt missing the curb, and Ayres is trying to take a different line to stay within the draft. But now he's pulling to the side and letting Newman go through, which is interesting.
Yeah, it depends if Jamie Ayres has got a slowdown off the back end of coming through the right-hander of Coppice there. So easily done for Jamie Ayres, but you're right, that's freed up Newman and Hunt now to go at it. There's still 3 minutes on the clock. It's a 1:17 lap time, so you're going to get 2 more here. They're going to go round once again will be the final lap. Ayres is now in with Momo's PVG and Hefford. Hefford's got Griffiths in behind him. Ricks has made his way up into 9th place. Where are you? There you are. As he chases down Darrell McLean, who's leading the Arms by 1.9 seconds over Charles Kellerman. Hefford has got Griffiths here for company, Tom, and he's only got one more lap after this one to defend from him.
Well, you say one more lap after this one. I'm going to see more laps to go when they cross over line. Griffiths determined to make his way through 6th position. He is at right now, and he's got Hefford stuck in the way, and he'll want to make a move to the outside if he can and switch back on the exit. Griffiths determined to go through here as he pulls out alongside. Up the hill they come into Covis on the inside. Griffiths trying to do not exactly what Jamie has did, but go to the inside without getting a slowdown, and now he's in prime position to attack. He should have this position coming his way, and he should be later on the brakes, but he's having to tuck back into the slipstream again.
Yeah, not quite brave enough there. However, Dan Hunt and Pete Newman have been brave enough down that start-finish line. Ayres is now involved. PVG, Steve Hefford and Tom Griffiths. 1 and 1 more. 12 laps of racing. Newman tapped the grass on the outside there. It unsettled the car and has brought Jamie Ayres into the affray. Down through Hollywood we go. And then down through the left-hander once more here. Jamie Ayres trying to close over Pete Newman. Newman's going to have the line. Ayres cannot tighten that up. PVG is going to sweep around the outside of you. So is Griffiths is going to come in and join the party. He's had his nose chopped off by Steve Hefford there. Hefford very, very tough. Elbows out defensive. In through McLean's we go. Griffiths is closing, climbing. Tom, but where can he go? He's got 3 of the same team in front of him.
Well, this is the problem for Griffiths now. It's like 3 Momo drivers working together to keep hold of the positions they're in and hoping that something happens to Newman and Hunt, which is a great chance of happening because Newman is going for it on Hunt this time, but Hunt decided not to have a repeat of what happened in the first race and just allow Newman to ride over the coast done, and now it's last lap time. Who's going to come out on top here in race 2?
Yeah, last lap for the run there. Newman went in. I think Hunt backed away from Newman on that entry into the Roberts due to the fact that Newman had come in like an absolute rapid rate of knots, and they've just made contact. They have just made contact on the final lap of the race. That's going to release Jamie Ayres, PVG, Steve Hefford, the second possible Momo 1, 2, 3 on the final lap of this race. That is never ever good to see. But can Griffiths upset the party? Can Kellerman upset Darren McLean on the final lap there as well? There's some bug goes flying in front of me glasses there. I thought I was in the car getting hit by flies. Tom Griffiths is going to try and get this through this right-hander of Coppice, but I don't think he's going to. I think this could well be a Momo 1, 2, 3, Tom, for the second race in a row.
Well, it's not over yet. Will PVG go for it on Jamie Ayres into Roberts, or will he settle for a Momo 1, 2 and 3 with him in second place here? You can see Griffiths trying to get out of the slipstream to put Hefford under as much pressure as he can, but the race is over. Ayres is your race winner.
Yeah, Jamie Ayres through, takes the victory there as well. It is a Momo. No, it ain't. Where did you go for... Oh, no, Griffiths got you. How did Griffiths get you?
I think there was a connection issue, James. Just watch PVG's car disappear on the screen. Yeah, he's had a connection issue.
And then where does he come back? He goes... Hold on a minute. I don't even want to give you the standings now because he comes over the line in second place. Darren McLean hangs on just from Charles Kellerman. That should have been a Momo 1, 2, 3. I'll see what iRacing tells me when we bring up the results here. But at the moment, it's showing Ayres, Hefford, Griffiths, Hunt, then PVG. So we'll keep an eye, and when these guys all wrap up and go over the line, what this is going to show me. At this moment in time, guys, I'm just as much in the dark as you on that one. So not quite sure how this one's going to work out. Just wait for... Who are we waiting for? Nobody, I believe. Ralph Cullinan. Where are you, Ralph? Ralph? Oh, he's all the way round. How did he get there when he was a lap?
Because he came out of the pits. He came out of the pits. He was over the line before the leaders came round to complete the race, James, and that's why he's just come out of the pits at the time in which he has done. So now we're having to wait a little bit longer for the results to come up, which is not ideal. I don't know why Cullinan has gone out at the time in which he has done.
Yeah, I think it just, I don't know. I'm not sure for Ralph Cullinan on that one, but we've got to wait for him to get round the lap there as well. Race 2, as exciting as it was on race number 1. And can we have a look back at the Hunt and Newman incident through turn 1? Let's go on board with the chopper. I think this might give us a better angle. Newman does hug the apex.
I think Dun Hunt turns in on him, doesn't he? He does not leave Pete Newman enough room to get the car through the corner before he attacked.
Right, here are the results. Oh, it has put PVG in second. So Jamie has PVG, Steve Pfeffer, the Momo 1, 2, 3 for the second round in a row. Dan Hunt, Jamie Wilson, Pete Newman and Ollie Ricks. And you got Darren McLean leading the AMs with Charles Callum and Fiona Siddons wrapping up the podium. Craig Jones in 11th, Colin Sampson 12th, Alan Toon, Andy Littler, Tom Griffiths, Ralph Cullinan and Mick Barry. Right, guys, we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back very, very shortly as we change over sessions. See you on the other side. Okay, guys, we are back now for race number 3. I can tell you now there's going to be a top 11 reverse for race number 4. Charles Kellerman are going to be on pole with Darren McLean, Ralph Cullen and Colin Sanson, and Dan Hunt, Pete Newman, Fiona Siddons and Craig Jones, and Jamie Ayres, Steve Hefford, Andy Littler and Sir Alan Toon. And then behind that we've got Mick Barry, Tom Griffiths, Ollie Ricks, Pete Van Gaal and Jamie Wilson. I can give you the updated information on Mick Barry. He is now on dry tyres, so there we go. And here we go. The lights are going to be on. It's going to be the 2 AMs on the front, Kellerman and McLean. Howard is going to get away. 5 lights are gone. Ladies and gentlemen, heat 3 is green, green, green. Charles Kellerman getting away this time, taking the whole shot down into turn 1. McLean's trying to stick his nose on the inside, not going to work. Colin Sanson, sweep round the outside of Ralph Cullen, and he's going to have that run for the first time down through Hollywood here before they go plunging down into Craner Curves. Now they start that drop. Now they start that descent. Colin Sanson loses that to Cullen, and Cullen gets past him. Is he going to be able to get past these AMs quick enough here to be able to break away from the ever-looming Dan Hunt, Pete Newman in the pros here, Tom? Great start from Charles Kellerman, but I can tell you one thing, it's all about whether or not Ralph Cullen is going to clear him quick enough.
Well, that's the £1 million question, isn't it? And thankfully, Charles Kellerman not doing what Colin Sanson did in the second race by jumping the start and maintaining his position in the lead for now. And we are seeing a move from Pete Newman on Colin Sanson into Cobbles Corner. That might open the door for Dan Hunt and Jamie Ayres to go through as well. So we are starting to see the hot runners, if you want to call them, start to really, really come into their zone.
Yeah, you can see Newman there gets past Sanson. He's going to go after Colin, and you can see Kellerman and McLean having an incident. They're in the wall. Kellerman and Darren McLean are in the wall together. Kellerman brings it back on track. He brings it right out on track in front of Mick Barry, who nearly goes and torpedoes him. Tom Griffiths coming through the order as well. He's just about to clear Andy Littler. Pete Newman now out in front. Ralph Cullen on the inside, and that Kellerman-McLean situation caused utter chaos at the front here with Hunt, with Newman now leading the way. Ralph Cullen and Jamie Ayres and Colin Sanson, your top 4, but it was all about Kellerman and McLean having to come in together and causing himself mass problems there.
Yeah, it was terrible driving standards from Charles Kellerman, the way he rejoined back onto the circuit and nearly taking Mick Barry out. So I wonder there may be a few words afterwards, but we'll leave the speculation alone for now. Pete Newman in the lead then, sooner than he would have expected, and with Ralph Cullen in second place, but at least he's got a shot of going for a win.
Yeah, he has, but he has got Ayres in behind him now. And Jamie Ayres there with Colin Sanson in behind that. 1.3 seconds back to Dan Hunt. These 4 cars getting a run. We've got 12 minutes to go. It looks like Craig Jones and Mick Barry been off the circuit. Jones managed to keep his 3rd place there. Mick Barry drops all the way down to the back of the order. Ayres and Cullen now side by side. It looks like it's going to be job done for Jamie Ayres. There's Ralph Cullen, and there Ayres has got in front of him. Cullen comes and blocks the door from Colin Sanson. I'm hoping Sanson don't do anything crazy here, Tom. He's leading the AMs. He might as well stay. Cullen's gone round. Cullen's gone round, unfortunately, on that one, and has dropped down the order, facing the other way for Ralph Cullen, and that was a shame because he was right up there once more, Tom, and he's made that mistake again.
Yeah, and totally throwing away the opportunity there, Ralph Cullen. And I don't know whether he was focusing on his own driving or focusing on the cars in front, particularly Jamie Ayres, who was getting by him, and that has cost Ralph Cullen and dear. But look who's in the lead of the AMs, Fiona Siddons.
Yeah, Fiona Siddons leading the AMs there, doing a great job out in front. Sanson's just got past her now, so Colin Sanson back again. We've got Sanson, Siddons, Wilson, PVG, Ollie Ricks and Tom Griffiths. These 5 cars scrapping it out, separated by about probably nearly just over 1.5 seconds here, fighting their way down into Roberts, the right, left. Sanson manages to hold on. Siddons is looking up the inside. Is this going to be another Kellerman-McLean situation? It is! Oh, you cannot demand space when your nose isn't alongside far enough. Colin Sanson holds on. He's trying to block off Wilson. Now they're door banging their way down. PVG's going to send it free wide down into turn 1. P Van Gaal free wide turn 1. Free wide turn 1. PVG makes it through. Colin Sanson makes it through. And Jamie Wilson makes it through. But they probably, Tom, shouldn't have made it through. Free wide down for a turn 1.
Well, that was nail-biting stuff, wasn't it? That was the bit between your teeth. And going back to saying about Fiona Siddons, that was just a careless attempt of an overtake to try and do, which was never going to work because she was too far back and she was going to ride over those sausage curbs all day long, which do not serve as your best friend. And that has cost Fiona Siddons dear, just as much as it did so to Charles Kellerman and Darren McLean earlier on.
Oh, Tom Griffiths has run wide. That's allowed Wilson to go through. That's going to also bring Ricks on the inside of us there as well, just on the roll bar of Griffiths. Ricks is going to try and get that tightened up. He didn't get the job done, did Ollie Ricks. He loses a place, but that's due to the fact he's in the gravel trap for Ollie Ricks. It has all gone wrong in race number 3 for Ollie Ricks. Top 11 reversed. Let's have a look and see what happened to Ricks here. He's on that inside line. Griffiths comes across. He unsettles the car, goes back the other way, gets a little love tap from Craig Jones, and clearly had nowhere to go, and unfortunately sends Ricks off into the gravel. Tom Griffiths, Colin Sanson, side by side. Wilson giving the draft to Griffiths. Griffiths is going to try and sweep round the outside of Redgate. Is he going to be able to make it through now as well for Griffiths? It looks like he has made it through. That's an all-pro front 7. Then we've got an all-ham next 6. So this could be an interesting battle in the pro and hams here. Colin Sanson, you can't sweep that wide, so you've got to tidy it up a little bit. Jones is tucked in there next round the old hairpin with Andy Littler as well. Littler having a great race for a change, sitting in 3rd place here.
Yeah, good race so far from Andy Littler. Now he can get on the tail of Craig Jones, who we've not seen too much of this evening so far. And now Colin Sanson, despite being in 8th position, holds leadership in AM and can just focus on his own race between now and the end. Does not need to get in the mix with the pros because that's not his race. It just allows them to be in their own fight. The closest battle we've got on circuit now is between Wilson and Griffiths for P6.
Yeah, Wilson's in there at the moment. He's got Griffiths tucked in behind him. Team Chimera over to Tom Griffiths, a racing machine behind him in his famous blue, white and green car, chasing down the white and green Chimera. Team Chimera 87 MX5 down into Redgate. Wilson closes, Griffiths closes in, behind him. Round turn 1 they go. He's not going to make it through this time. He's in fact lost time over to Griffiths, lost time over Wilson there, Tom. He's going to have to come at him once more.
Well, it's enough to dig deep there, does Griffiths needs to get by Wilson. Going back to the Momo drivers now between Steve Hubbard and Pete Van Gaal. How are these going to fight out this time? Because it was a 1-2-3 for the team in race number 2. It's highly unlikely that we're going to get a repeat of that in race 3. PVG looking to the inside into McLean corner, and he is through just about. He should have the inside line and the high ground for Coppis, unless Hubbard is later on the brakes and gets a strong exit. But no, PVG has got the overtake completed, and that's 4th place going in the way of the Dutchman. Yeah,
I'm a little bit worried about Newman and Hunt up front. We've seen it before that open up the door to a Momo 1-2-3 in race number 2 here. Can these guys keep it clean, Tom, this time around and hold on to the positions that really they rightly deserve in race 3?
Well, they just need to focus on the race with it. You've seen a huge gap between Ayres in 3rd and PVG in 4th. They're in different races now. Ayres in a fight with Newman Hunt for the win, and you've got PVG and Heather just in their own battle, as well as Wilson and Griffiths for 4th place. But that's okay, we've got a couple of battles to focus.
Yeah, Ollie, looks like Andy Littler's made a mistake here because he loses a place.
Newman.
Yeah, he loses Andy Littler. Got to slow down. Littler got to slow down now, unfortunately, on that one. Dan Hunt, Pete Newman, Hefford and PVG, Colette Kellerman and Jones. Jones is off again off the side of the circuit. I'm wondering what excuse he's going to use this time. Well, let's have a look and see if there is an excuse incoming for Craig Jones or if this was all on his tube. Oh, he blew an engine. Big puff of smoke.
We don't see that very often, do we?
No, but he changed down gears. He's jumped gears, I think. Fourth. Oh, he went to second from fourth. Oh, Jonesy. Second to fourth, the engine went nope, and he went poof. Darren McLean's dived on the inside of Kellerman into Roberts. He's taken the second place in the AMS. Newman and Hunt still fighting it out up the front. And then we've got PVG, Steve Hefford and Jamie Wilson, who's dropped Tom Griffiths by 1.5 seconds. Craig Jones cannot go fourth to second here, Tom. That car does not like it, and it showed with the engine going poof.
Well, that was a huge shame, and it went very quickly from fourth to second, didn't it? Which you're supposed to do anyhow for the old hairpin, but that was a very weird puff of smoke coming out there for Craig Jones, and that's his race over, unfortunately. And now we've got a battle for fourth place between PVG, Hefford and Wilson.
Yeah, they're battling away here. Up through McLean's we go. We're going to go up into the blind hairpin of Coppers. Keeping an eye on if Steve Hefford's going to get not a lot better run. He isn't. However, Wilson is going to get a lot better run here from Steve Hefford. He's going to come in behind him. You're going to see him very, very shortly coming in now for Jamie Wilson. There he is, tucked in right behind. You've got to make a move, son. You can't get any closer even if you wanted to. He didn't make that move into Roberts for Wilson. Did not make the move for Wilson. He's now going to go again. Is he going to get the inside line? I'm surprised Hefford has not slotted in behind his Momo teammate. Now Wilson's going to go once more. Pull out. Van Gaal's got you, holding him up. Oh, PVG was holding him up. Wilson had the opportunity. He had the opportunity there, Tom. You could visually see that PVG was holding him up, and Wilson should have gone when he's got that opportunity.
Well, I don't know why he didn't do it. I mean, he's lost himself time and losing crucial ground to the leaders, which he could have been fighting with later on. But now he's going to have to try and maybe wait another lap to get the overtake done on Steve Hefford. But what is Wilson's game plan now? Is he thinking about a podium, or is he thinking about the Team Momo drivers that he's looking ahead?
Well, he's not thinking about it. He's got to close the gap. Steve Hefford, he's gone for the gap. Hefford leaves a little bit of room there. Jones is in YouTube chat, was all the way alongside from race number 2, not so much in race number 3 where you went from fourth to second and blew your engine. We did see it live and we saw it on a replay just to make sure that is what you did do, and you did do that. You auto blip there, put you down into second and your engine went puff. So enjoy them 40 minutes of repairs you probably got in YouTube chat. And now Wilson's gone round. Jamie Wilson on the curb on the outside, coming through the final corner, goes round there, and it's all done and dusted for Wilson. That battle that he was in, Tom, has puffed to quicker than Harry Potter going up a chimney.
Well, you'd have thought so. I don't know what kind of analogy you're going to come out with next then. But we've got Dunn and Newman fighting for the lead then. I mean, I don't know how many times you're going to keep saying that this evening. These two seem to be stuck together like glue all day long. But now, are we going to actually see a clean tussle between these two this time?
Well, we can hope. Otherwise, it's going to be the second 1 2 3 of the evening, to be blatantly honest with you. We normally don't see them at all. Well, now we've seen 2 in 2 rounds. And Hunt and Newman were responsible for the fact that they took a 1 2 3 in the last one. So we're going to see how this one plans out here and whether or not these guys can keep it clean, because otherwise theirs is going to be there, PVG's going to be there, Steve Hefford's going to be there, and Hefford's got Tom Griffiths for company. In the AMS, Darren McLean has got Colin Sanson and Charles Kellerman not far behind him at all. I'm just going to focus on this up front battle until they get through Redgate. Craig Jones with the excuses in YouTube chat. My paddles are broke. Well, you shouldn't have been yanking him so hard to get that car down from fourth into second, going into one corner. Now he goes through into turn 1, into Redgate. Hunt's practically pushing Newman along here, Tom. Down through Hollywood they go for that run through Craner Curves.
Yep, so they've got a couple of laps to go as the sun continues to set round Donington Park. We don't know for certain whether it's going to be a wet race later, but we are seeing someone drop down the order. I think Sunson and Kellerman have come to blows further back.
Colin Sanson, it looks like that may have been with Andy Littler right about the moment. I'm not sure where Kellerman went, but wherever he went, He lost a couple of places. He loses one to Siddons there and then gets Siddons back through again. So Cullen and Steele on the racetrack. Want to pick up on the AMs, but Ollie Ricks has just got in the middle and disturbed them. PVG, Hefford and Griffiths still fighting it out. Ed is driving around in no man's land currently at this moment in time. There is Griffiths and Hefford coming towards us. Griffiths is going to look for that inside line. Surely he's got to look for the inside line. Is he going to be later on the brakes? He pulls out, makes an intended move, doesn't get it done. Coming down towards us now. Ollie Ricks, Darren McLean. McLean in 8th, Ricks in 9th. Ricks wants to get past him because it's a battle that he does not want to get involved with. He does get past him down the hill, braking. Ollie Ricks goes through over the curb. Is he going to hold it though, mind you? Because that is a curb on the outside. He's not going to hold it. That's going to allow Darren McLean, Charles Kellerman to go through. And God blimey, we're on the final lap already. Ricks is again in there with Darren McLean. McLean on the right hand side in the red and white. Full red with white trim. Then we've got the white with red trim of Ollie Ricks and the white with green trim of Charles Kellerman as these guys fighting out through Hollywood here. Side by side action up front as well. Hunt and Newman. Now it's the sign of McLean's. Now they're going into Coppice. Newman tries to give him room once more for the final time. It's going to be a run down through the chicane. Down through Starkey Straight we're going to go. It's going to be a Newman Hunt full bore run drag race quarter mile, 10 seconds for Newman, and Hunt is going to be late on the brakes. This is where they had it last time. Newman's going to go through. They're going to have it again.
No, it's again.
Oh, they're at it again. Oh, boys, I swear I've just had another litter of kittens up here in the booth. Again! For Newman and Hunt. McLean comes over, he takes the arm win. Oh, dearie me. Same scenario, Newman's ahead. Oh.
It's the curb. It was the inside curb. That's what contributed to that as well. It's a racing incident, I think, but I just knew that was going to happen, James. I knew it was going to happen.
Should it have been avoidable? Right. Well, after I've just shot out my second kitten litter here this evening, Dan Hunt does take the victory. Hunt's first race win in 5-6 races now. Ez in second. A great night for the boys at Momo. PVG in third. Then you got Tom Griffiths, Steve Hefford, Pete Newman, Jamie Wilson. McLean has wrapped up the AM win. Kellerman and Sanson next in there in second and third. They had a great battle on the run down to the line. Ralph Cullen in 12th. Littler, Siddons, Alan Toome, Mick Barry, and Craig Jones, and then Mick Barry. Last corner, same people. I don't really know what to say.
I don't either. I even just took my eyes off the race result because it just, the achievement for, I can't remember who spun round now. I think it was Pete. Was it Pete Newman that spun round?
Mm.
It just takes the achievement for Dan Hunt away, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And the problem is Newman kind of had the inside line going into the corner, and Hunt wasn't alongside on the left-hander, but he got alongside by running it in deep, and then it was just game over. Them two was never going to give an inch. Bring on the rain for race number 4. Well, we'll see if we have got rain. We haven't got it in the warm-up at the moment. Which is where we normally start seeing it, Gary. I'm not even sure how this one would turn out in the rain, I've got to be honest. Top 11 reverse. I didn't even see who was on the pole position. I'm sorry, I was so strung up with what had gone on. Oh, blimey, it's Colin Saxon and Charles Kellerman again on the front row there. once more. I'm sure that's about the third time them guys have been on the front, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure it is.
Well, Charles Kellerman was on pole for the randomised grid for race 3, and the pair of them were on the front row for race 2. And now they're on the front row again, together again. But let's hope that Colin Sanson learns his lesson this time and not jump the start.
Yeah, well, hopefully on that one he will, and then he can literally hold that clutch in long enough to be able to basically get the car off the line cleanly, because he doesn't want to do a repeat of the same thing. I think you've got to be honest, this racing has just been intense here, and I feel like I've nearly strung myself out and given myself an heart attack going into the final race. Top 11 reverse, let's not forget. Kellerman and Sanson will be on the front row, so that's going to be an exciting one. Ollie Ricks is out in wet, so I don't know what Ollie's predicting, unless all of a sudden it goes to the race and it starts chucking it down. But yeah, Mr. Ricks, you're on wet tyres currently. I don't know if we can get a camera angle where we might actually be able to see them tyres behind. Yeah, you can just see the tread in the bottom right hand corner on that one, where a normal car looks like that, where you've got just slick tyres in the bottom right just sticking out from the bumper. You can just see Craig Jones on slicks there. Ollie Ricks is on treaded tyres, which means they're in the wet right about now. I know it's not a great shot, but it's probably about as close as I can possibly get. You just see the tread in the bottom right there as well. Could be interesting. Hopefully Ricks will realise that if we don't get rain, he has to go and change them tyres and not pull a Mick Barry.
Well, Mick Barry should be on... Well, I hope he doesn't do the complete opposite by going on dry tyres for a wet race. That would be the... Do you remember... There was a thing I remember called on... I don't know if I'm allowed to mention the programme. The Match of the Day 2. Too Good, Too Bad moment. Where they have like a too good, too bad feature where they sort of show the good moments of it and like bad moments. And a lot of the bad moments, you see like some really sort of comedic moments where some weird individual sort of brings a toothbrush to a football match. Starts brushing his teeth while the match is going on. Yeah. It kind of reminds me a little bit where someone just puts the wet tyres on for a dry race and putting dry tyres on for a wet race. It kind of gave me those vibes a little bit there, James.
It wouldn't surprise me with Mick. He has his moments. What a race, Charles, that was. You're going to be on the front row again here, sir, for the third time this evening. Can we see you go and have a good old little ding-dong up the front? Let's not roll over and get your old belly tickled this time, Mr. Charles Kellerman, please. Grid. Colin Sanson and Charles Kellerman. Hopefully Colin can hold the clutch in. Ollie Ricks in third. There is the rain. Darren McLean, Jamie Wilson, Pete Newman, Steve Hefford and Tom Griffiths. PVG in ninth. Jamie Ayres 10th. Dan Hunt in 11th and Ralph Cullinan in 12th. Then we're going to have Andy Littler, Fiona Siddon, Sir Alan Toon, Craig Jones and Mick Barry. Oh, dear me. Charles, you're on dry tyres. Charles, you're on dry tyres. Get back into the pits and get your wets on. You're on the slick, son. Oh, dearie me. Oh, no. Charles, you're on dry tyres. Charles, the slick tyres. Get back in, quick. Oh, no, he ain't going to make it. He ain't going to make it.
Do you think he's realised, James, that he's made that error?
He has now. He has now, because Colin Sampson's on dries as well. Oh, no. Here we go. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? 5 lights. It's green, green, green. The boys on the front row are both sitting on dry tyres. Kellerman, Sanson, if they make it round turn 1, it's going to be a mission. They've got no grip. Sanson goes round. Kellerman, oh, Hefford, boom, Cullinan in there. And all because they were on dry tyres. Dan Hunt, Darren McLean, Charles Kellerman, how are you still holding on? You're not holding on. Oh, no. Charles, it's all gone wrong on the third time. Oh, Samson and McCullough in the pits. Kellerman's twitching around. He's just been pushed from Craig Jones on the dry tyres for Charles Kellerman. Oh, there you go on the left-hand side.
Has anyone got the Benny Hill theme tune going on in the background? Because that's the vibe I'm getting right now.
Yeah. He even noticed in YouTube chat, he even put in there, oh no, too late. It is too late, Charles. You're going to have to go in the pit lane and get them tyres off. Ollie Ricks, the rain maestro, magician, the tyre rain whisperer is through Roberts. He is out in front. I expect him to probably stay there for quite a while. Jamie Wilson second with Darren McLean, Jamie Ayres and Dan Hunt. How is Kellerman getting on? He's tiptoeing like a ballerina in Swan Lake around about now. Get in the pit, son. Preferably in one piece. For Charles Kellerman, Newman, Ayres, Hunt. Oh, where have we seen this? Newman and Hunt together again, Tom.
Yeah. And now they're doing it in wet weather conditions. It feels like the rain is getting harder and harder and harder. And none of these drivers will have practiced wet conditions before tonight, will have they?
Oh, well, they've been in it. Let's be real. They brought the rain in last season, didn't they? And, you know, that's where the sort of major battles went from. You can see the gainers here. Watch Kellerman and down 11. Well, he's down 10 now. Everett's in the pit lane. Cullinan's down 2. Satson 14. PVG down 7. PVG went off the side of the circuit. That was in avoidance, I think, to what had previously happened. There's Pete Van Gore. You can see Ralph Cullinan goes round in the background. Did Pete get a nudge? Nope, he runs wide, then he's on the grass and he's now just trundling down the grass for PVG. But Ollie Ricks out in front currently at this moment in time for race number 4 by half a second, being closed in by another fast rain driver, Jamie Wilson. Ricks has not got the grip to battle him at this moment in time. Wilson's going to get through on the right hand side. Wilson now is going to try and take Ollie Ricks. He's going to take round turn 1 into Red Gate. They take a very, very wide line, but you can see for Wilson it worked, Tom. He swept round, swept Ollie Ricks up, and job done for Jamie Wilson.
Wilson into the lead ahead of Ollie Ricks, who's having his best race of the evening so far. Thank goodness for that, because he had a very lacklustre 3 races earlier on. Charles Culliman's come back onto the circuit now, albeit a lap down.
Yeah, but at least he's out there. At least he's out, going to get some rain practice in. He's got his rain tyres on. Well done, Charles. Oh, so late. I tried to scream and he just couldn't get off the grid quick enough for Charles Kellerman. Pete Newman sitting in there as well, nestling in, watching these guys go hammer and tong, chasing the grip, staying out of the puddles. Ollie has got a snap. Got a snap. You just saw it on board. Ricks is kind of being swallowed up a little bit here. He's normally so good in the rain. You're going to get, you break on that grass, Mr. Ricks. You are going straight on as he backs it up now as well. Ricks is side by side with Ayres. Ayres takes the position away. Prime spot on board with Newman. Newman's going to get the run on Ollie Ricks. Is he going to try and send it 3 wide down into turn 1? He is. Oh my dear, the Ricks is, Ollie Ricks made Pete Newman break there, Tom. I would say very aggressively.
Yeah, just calm down there, James.
I can't get over this.
Dan Hunt going through on Ollie Ricks into Red Gate and Pete Newman following, so Ricks is beginning to struggle now by the looks of things as they head their way through Craner curves. And we've got Wilson and Ayres fighting for the lead, but it won't be too long before Hunt and Newman, not for the first time tonight, and Ricks goes for a spin on the exit of the old hairpin.
Oh, Ollie Ricks has gone round. That is his evening done and dusted. Was it all on his own? That's going to be the question for Ollie Ricks.
It was on his own.
Oh, this is Tom Griffiths. He goes off. We'll have a look at that one in a minute. Here's Ollie in the middle. Oh, no, he's at the end of the line. He's not even, on the rear left on the curb. What did Tom Griffiths do? Ricks did a lovely pirouette there, mind you. Griffiths is going to run wide in the old hairpin as well. Here's another one. He hit the curb. hit the curve on the entry, and he's gone round as well. Wilson, Ayres, and the DOF reality of Dan Hunt. Wilson slow through Roberts. He's trying to get the power down. Ayres has been...
Oh, no!
I think there was contact with Ayres and Hunt there. Now they're 3 wide going into turn 1 again. Oh, no. Newman's going to come through. I'm not quite sure what's happening with Ayres and Wilson. I'm not sure if Wilson is... Yeah, it's broke.
Yeah, it's broken. Both cars are broken.
Can't see. He doesn't have the steering wheel moving. Oh, Ayres is broke.
Yeah, it was a big whack on the exit of Roberts, James. So we need to have a look on the replay to find out what actually was going on. But this is the aftermath of the contact.
Oh,
this is them going off. Yeah, it's the aftermath of the contact. So we need to see, if we can, what actually went on between those two a few corners before. So this is not it.
This is a little bit, yeah, this is a little bit further back, but this might be just about as far as I can get it back on this one. As you can see with Wilson now, he's in front of Ayres. He's coming through Roberts, isn't it? So it's just at the end of this straight here where they make contact. You can see Jamie Ayres there looking at the inside of Wilson. He's closing, he's closing, he's closing. Wilson almost slams the door. Ayres goes through. Wilson's very, very slow. Ayres there, and then all of a sudden this happens. Ayres, he did get pushed. There was a...
No, I think he was already going, and then Hunt nudged Ayres into Wilson afterwards.
Yeah, but then is there more? Because it doesn't look like both cars are broke at this point. It's broke. Ayres is trying to brake turn full and not managed to make it work. Pete Newman out in front by 1.8 seconds. Darren McLean, the AM, is there as well. What has happened to Dan Hunt and Wilson?
Well Wilson got... He was involved in the contact with Ayres, James, which is why he starts. Dan Hunt has had an incident of his own. Oh, don't tell me it's contact. No, he's spun by himself this time. And he very nearly collected another car. Did he even continue after that?
No, he hit a curb. He hit the curb, watch, just there. Round he goes, pirouettes on his own. McLean goes through. And Dan Hunt does carry on, but it's very, very slow. And then ends up jumping back to the pits. So... what a mixed up grid this is. Pete Newman in first. Then we've got Darren McLean in second, with Fiona Siddons in third, ahead of Andy Littler, Ollie Ricks, Craig Jones and Tom Griffiths. They've changed the damage model so you can easily get suspension damage from tyre to tyre contacts as PVG. So that could be why Wilson and Ayres had their problems after. It didn't show straight away, but they were going down the straight and both of them just broke.
Yeah, I mean, I had another retirement of Sir Alan Seen, unfortunately, which was a huge shame because he could have done, again, to the end, given all the race of attrition we have had so far. And Fiona Siddons got a chance of going for an AM podium now.
Yeah, you can see them there. Ricks is in front. It's a free air. Jones has caused it. He's just caused a massive ding-dong into Fiona Siddons. Craig Jones, hold your hands up. What's your excuse this time? Well, I can tell you what the excuse is. You hit a puddle coming out of the pit lane there, aquaplaned right about now. Boom! Into Siddons he goes, aquaplanes that MX5, and it's all done. Darren McLean is off the circuit, but he's got a 13.5 second gap. I cannot even tell you what's going on. We've got half the field in the pits.
My goodness me. This is not going to end, is it? I mean, we've got 5 minutes to go in this race, and Pete Newman, I think you can say, bar any silly mistakes he makes, has got the race win in his pocket, and Kellerman is back in the pits because I think it's another off somewhere.
Oh, he did. Oh, he has. What is going on here? Jones, you're doing the same thing you just did last time. Puddles all the way down. Get off. You're going to aquaplane again. Yep. Oh, my dearie me. Sign of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again for Craig Jones. Now, is that because he can't see? Am I giving him not enough credit that that sunlight is blazing him so much that he cannot see that puddle line? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I am giving him a little bit too much credit. I don't know. But he's just taken a position. Littler's just gone wide as well. Yeah, I'm not even sure where we're at this moment in time. Darren McLean went round, right? So we'll see that. But he manages to hang on to second place. This is coming... Where is he? I don't think he's at the old hairpin. He's a right-hander, so he could be on a run up through Starkey's. He's gone round and recovered. Charles Kellerman, car come out of nowhere, no time to react. Well, you've already looked like you've been thumped once, sir. So what happened the other time before that? Who was that car? I'm wondering if he got caught up here. No, he's already got it there. Oh, it might have been Tooney. Yeah, it might have been Alan Toon. There he comes. Oh, Tooney. Oh, Tooney. Oh. Don't tell me you were left hand. Oh, you are left hand down. You're on the grass. Now turn it left. Turn it left. Turn it left. Turn it left. Oh, he had nothing. Nothing at all there, Tom, for Alan Toon. Darren McLean has got Ollie Ricks in behind him. Yeah, Charles just seen it. Apart from the fact that you were on dry tyres, we did try telling you. And Darren McLean now under attack from Ollie Ricks. I don't really know if it's worth Darren fighting this time. He might as well let him go. Oh, have we lost Tom? Tom? We have lost Tom. So we might... Oh, Tom's back again. As we wait patiently to see if Mr. Tom Cairns can get back into the booth. Tom, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I finally back. Had a Wi-Fi connection issue. So, back to the action. Given all, we haven't had enough problems in this race. I don't have a problem of my own. So we are close to the end of race number 4 here at Donington. Pete Newman leading with Darren McLean, the leader of the AMS. Ollie Ricks determined to get through into second place overall and salvage something for the night. It has been an absolute race of attrition, hasn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable, isn't it? We've got half the grid, literally. Toon, Kellerman, Wilson, Hunt, Ayres, Sampson, Cullen and Gould and Barry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 retirements. 2 in the pits. So that's going to be 8 and 9. And we're only going to have 7 finish. And Ollie Ricks is trying to clear Darren McLean. I'm going to pick up on Andy Littler and Jones in a minute because, well, we've just seen how rough they're having it as well. McLean's just got it all wrong, and it should open up the door for Ricks, not this time going into Hollywood. Ricks manages to keep the car going in the right direction. So does McLean, now coming into the old hairpin, down the base of a hill. What is on the base of a hill? A puddle. Just there. Ricks does make it through.
Well, it's on the apex, actually, of the old hairpin, James. You could just see it as they went through. And they're doing their utmost to try and avoid it. So it's almost like going through a very narrow bollard both ways and trying to get through without hitting it. And that's kind of the analogy with the puddles right there.
Yeah, absolutely. Littler's dropped away from Jones. He has been just taking a little bit of a... I don't know if that's the trip off the side of the circuit. This could possibly be... No, there's going to be one more. You're going to have one more lap, mate. You've got to make it through. You haven't slowed it down enough. Ricks and McLean now side by side coming into Roberts. We're going to be on the final lap of the race. Ricks, McLean, Ricks, Ricks and McLean. McLean just about gets that car stopped, but Ollie Ricks should get him going down into turn 1.
Well, it's the last lap. The clock has not reached 0 yet. Oh, contact made between McLean and Ricks on the pit straight. Can they get through cleanly into Redgate corner? We're about to find as Ricks looks to the inside of McLean. Is this move done at last for Ollie? The answer is no. McLean will have the high ground on the exit.
McLean's still keeping going there. Littler's backed away. Is this going to be a first Craig Jones podium in the second place machine of, well, since his return actually to last round? That puddle is horrendous. They've got to be careful there. Final lap, they make it through though, but Still going at it, Ollie Ricks and McLean up through Starkey's. They go round the Schwanch curve. Now into McLean's the right hand. McLean holding on through McLean's here. Not for much longer. Ricks is going to be up the inside. McLean's now got a decision to make. He says stay there and survive and let Ricks have this, or battle him out. And he's bowed him out, and both men. Oh my dearie Jesus whiz Batman. Pete Newman's going to come over the line. He takes the victory. Newman wraps it up, takes the victory there as well. I wrote it down, and I wrote it down. Griffiths comes over the line. McLean does win the amp fight. Ricks in third. Jones gets his first podium of the night. Andy Littler in there as well. Fiona Siddons is going to come over the line, is he? Oh no, they're still going at it here, Ricks and McLean. Nothing is done yet. Nothing is done yet. Nothing is done yet. It is going to be Ricks. It is going to be McLean. Is it going to be Jones? Is Jones going to get... Oh, give over. You cannot tell me Craig Jones has just gone and won the AMS, and that would all be from the fact that McLean had a slowdown on that final corner. There was the initial contact there. I want to go a little bit more. Can we keep going farther forward than that, please? Nope, I'm not going to be able to get it, I don't think.
I wonder if he had steering issues following the contact there, James, with Ollie Ricks. Hence why he went through the last chicane very, very slowly.
Oh, Craig Jones is the... Oh, no, it is McLean. McLean, Jones, Littler. Cool, that was very, very close in the arms going over the line there. Craig's first podium of the season. We're just waiting for Steve Hefford to come over the line. Did manage to get the car back out on track, albeit in a very, very horrendous state. Steve there gets the job done. Right, let's bring you up the results of the rain-soaked feature, I guess we could call it. Pete Newman is your winner. Tom Griffiths gets second and Ollie Ricks gets third in the pros. Darren McLean did beat Craig Jones by literally 0.2 of a second for first in the AMS. Jones wraps off second and Littler grabs third. Fiona Siddons gets a tidy fourth or seventh overall. Steve Hefford over the line in eighth. Then we've got the non-finishers. Sir Alan Toon, Dan Hunt, Wilson, Kellerman, Ayres, Sampson, PVG, Ralph Cullinan and Mick Barry. I think we could safely say Donington National in the rain caused chaos. Have we just lost Tom right at the end of the broadcast? Yes, we have. All right, guys, let's wrap it up there as well. Some great racing tonight. Even so, great racing. There was absolutely incredible racing from everybody. But that's going to bring it to an end. It's been a very, very interesting, exciting... I don't know. I've had more kittens at the bleating cat factory back here, I can tell you that much. But ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap it up. I've been James Parfitt. I've been alongside the disconnected Tom Cairns right at the end. And as always, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.